Welcome to This Week in Marketing. First, we're going to explore some big, high-impact headlines. I'll address how Google's deprioritized the map pack and what that means for your business getting found by local prospective customers. And Instagram did it again and tinkered with its algorithm. I'll share exactly what you need to know to adapt your content strategy. And finally, a bill was signed into law requiring TikTok to sell into US ownership or get banned. After all that, I'm going to share 4 essential videos for promoting yourself as a buyer's agent. We've got some work ahead of us, so let's get cracking. Welcome to This Week in Marketing. I'm Jason Pantana, your host, and I'm so glad you're here. If you're new to the channel, I invite you to subscribe so you never miss out on new episodes like this one here. We have much to get into, so let's dive in, beginning with your marketing news and updates. Google's made some pretty significant changes to their search results page that impact local businesses. Real estate agents, you are a local business provider. If you have a Google business profile, you better listen up. This is going to have an impact on how customers find you. You're well aware, I've talked about it on this show lots of times before, that it's typical for a seller in particular to run a search like best realtor in the marketplace or best realtors near me. And what that will typically do is trigger what's called Google's map pack. The map pack displays the top 3 Google business listings and then a sliver of map based upon the search terms and the location searched. And the map pack is still in Google, but Google has been deprioritizing it lower down the results page. And it was initially thought that was because they were trying to draw attention to the local services ads. Google typically shows in the top of the search results for local intent customer searches, like best realtor in Milwaukee or something like that, 2 ads that are part of their local services ads. They're called Google Screened as part of Google Local Services ads. And those are great ads, but the problem with those ads is they're just incredibly clogged up. There's everybody and everybody else running those ads, so they're so competitive, and they oftentimes will let advertisers from outside markets be the local result on your marketplace, and it just doesn't always make sense. So the organic is really the opportunity to get found by prospective sellers because they're looking to read those reviews. But here's the change. Google has demoted, so to speak, the map pack. It doesn't mean it isn't still important. It's still wildly important, but they've lowered it down the search results page, and they're now infusing more local website links to services pages and community pages. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means if I go to your website, you have a local website because you're a local business. It's not like a national brand per se, it's your website. And if I go to your website, I might see a web page for if I'm interested in you as a listing agent, interested in you as a buyer's agent, maybe I'm interested in investing or commercial or relocation. And what I'm playing at is your website. You could have all kinds of different web pages for all the different services you provide, and you could load those up with keywords because right now Google's ranking those way higher in the search results. One of our rockstar coaching clients, Judy Michaelis, if you do a search for best realtor in Westport, Connecticut, you're going to see her links all over the first page of Google because she's done this. She's optimized her website to be the top ranking result for those types of keywords. Best realtor in, best real estate agent in said area. And it's not just your services pages, it's also community pages, the neighborhood you service, the zip code you service. There's a big opportunity to optimize your website for local intent searches. And now there's really the chance that Google's going to actually rank your website, those specific pages, in the search results of customers who are running searches like best realtor in your local marketplace. The question is, are they going to click to your website or your competitor's website? Now, my advice is use an AI tool like ChatGPT or some generative writing tool like that to help you infuse the keywords and write the copy, and then you yourself or your webmaster can simply take those words, the text, the copy, and drop it in the web pages, hit publish, and let that start indexing to Google and build up your local SEO. Google's making changes, and they're lowering the map pack, and they're increasing the local organic links. Get all over it on your services pages and your community pages. Next up, let's talk about Instagram. They've made some adjustments. You might have caught the video from Adam Mosseri, the CEO of Instagram, where he talked about how Instagram's going to make some adjustments to correct wrongs in their algorithm in terms of how their algorithm suggests and distributes and prioritizes content in its users' feeds. And one of the changes they're going to make, for instance, Adam Mosseri said, we're going to start giving original accounts, original creators more attention. There's a lot of accounts out there that all they do is basically aggregate other creators' content, like even my videos. There are some accounts out there that will take my videos and replay them using the features built into Instagram Reels, and it will be a post on their channels, and they'll get more attention on my video on their page than I will on my own. And it's, for creators who are making content, it's kind of annoying. And so one of the changes they're making is they're going to start giving the creator, the originator, the best visibility. So there's a popular feature called collabs, for instance. Well, whoever started the collab is going to have the most stickiness in terms of distribution. So one of the main changes they're making is they're giving creators more visibility in the feeds, creators, specifically the original creators. But that's not the note I really want to point out to you. The note I want to point out to you is that also within this change, they made a comment that they're going to start suggesting smaller creator accounts versus large dominant accounts more frequently. Now, you might think about YouTube, where YouTube has what I've called before a seniority clause. What it means is once you start ranking in YouTube, the algorithm is structured where you'll keep ranking in YouTube because, hey, look, why fix it if it ain't broke? If somebody's clicking it, watching it, commenting, and happy with that video, YouTube's like, we're going to keep on ranking it. But what Instagram is doing is actually the opposite of that. They are intentionally redistributing the attention, so to speak, to smaller creators. Now, what's always happened algorithmically before is whenever you post it on Instagram, Instagram would test your content in a small sampling of your own followers to see how they react to it. And based upon how well they react to it, that would then dictate the future of your post. Is Instagram going to show it to other audiences, more followers, non-followers, and so forth? But what they're saying now is it doesn't even matter how it performs with your own followers. When you publish a reel on Instagram, immediately they're going to start testing it with a small group of non-followers, and they're going to do it specific to the category of your post. They're going to use their AI that's built into the algorithm to have an understanding of, oh, this video is about this topic, and here's what we know about this creator who made this video. So they're going to draw some inferences as to what your reel is about and who would be interested. And with the small group, that first test group, they're going to start with a very niche audience. They're going to really get down to a subject matter that's really super niche. And then if it does well there, they'll go to a slightly broader group and see how it performs there, and then to an even broader group. So like it might be stand-up comedy to stuff that's funny to entertainment would be a demonstration of how you might see the different niche, less niche, more broad categories evolving. And that's effectively going to be riding the wave of virality for your next post on Instagram with reels and so forth. So most of you watching are likely considered small creators. The vast majority of creators on Instagram are small creators. So for small creators, this is pretty good news. In fact, this is really, really good news. And it means that you have the ability to go deep with an audience you don't have yet. You should start to think about your Instagram reels as an opening to the conversation of, well, if I could talk to anybody about what I want to talk to them about on social media, what would I make content about to reach those people? And so my advice to you is start thinking about your customer. What does your customer need to see more of from you on Instagram? Because this new algorithmic change is built and structured and designed whereby it's going to show your content to exactly who you want to see it. You've heard me talk about this before, that within Instagram and Facebook, of course, they've been trying to keep up with TikTok, which headlines on that coming up really soon. And TikTok's For You feed is not necessarily built around you seeing content from the accounts you follow. It's based upon what your interests are as a viewer. And then what the algorithm does is it serves viewers stuff they want to watch based upon their interests. Well, Facebook and Instagram have been a lot more like that. And it was also noted that right now on Instagram, in your feeds, 50% of all the content you see in your feeds on Instagram is currently AI suggested, meaning it's from accounts you don't necessarily follow. The opportunity for creators who want to reach an audience that you don't have yet is incredible. A lot of people have always looked at social media, Instagram in particular, as a space for I create content to stay in front of the same audience. But I hope you can consider for a moment that that's not the end-all be-all anymore. There is this duplicity or duality of it whereby it's not just about being in front of your existing followers. It is equally as much about reaching non-followers and inviting them into the folds. And so look at your content strategy. Is it consistent? Who are you attracting with it? Because you get what your content attracts. Finally, our last bit of juicy news is related to TikTok. You've likely seen the news headlines about TikTok being potentially banned here in the US. This has been an item of conversation and discussion for quite some time now, and the law has been passed. It has been signed requiring and ordering TikTok that it can either A, sell off to a company within the US so that there's US ownership over it, or at least a company under US law has ownership over it, or B, they're going to get banned here in the US. They have 9 months to effectively line up a buyer or decide to be banned here in America. And I'm curious, what are your thoughts about this with the whole TikTok being banned or being sold? Law that's been inked into law. It's legislation. It's happening. Now laws can change, but it's been signed. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments. If you read up on what the conversation has been like in Washington discussing this matter, it really boils down to two concerns. A, data and privacy violations against US citizens who are using the app, and or B, the possibility of foreign influence in terms of infiltrating our mind share, so to speak, through videos and content being shared on the platform and having influence over our perception and interpretation of reality here in the United States. And so lawmakers have made the decision that that's got to change. And so regardless, lawmakers have decided it's going to change. Again, I'm curious. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Marketing is ever evolving, and with the emergence of AI, the rate of change is faster than ever. Adapt quickly to AI-driven marketing strategies or risk falling behind. This is precisely why we've created the AI Marketing Academy, a 4-week virtual intensive tailored to integrate AI seamlessly into your marketing strategy. You'll start with unraveling the basics of AI, then you'll get to grips with essential AI tools. And finally, you'll learn how to incorporate these tools into effective, real-world marketing tactics. Space is limited, don't miss your chance to be a part of the future. That does it for marketing news and updates. Let's talk tactics. These last several weeks, the real estate space has been inundated with news related to commission lawsuits, settlements, and changing regulations. And as a result, it's never been more critical to revisit your buyer-focused marketing to ensure it's relevant and that it actually speaks to the inner desires of today's consumer. So in today's episode, I'm sharing 4 examples from within our coaching community of what top producing agents are doing via video to promote their services. Here we go, 4 essential videos for promoting yourself as a buyer's agent. A recent report from 1000 Watt. 1000 Watt is an amazing marketing agency in the real estate space. They conduct some of the best research I've seen. In fact, I interviewed one of their co-founders a few weeks ago, Brian Barrero, and he brought up this particular study, and it was sort of like a, hello, Jason, anybody there kind of epiphany observation about buyer's agents. So they did a huge research assessment of a lot of different buyers, recent buyers, folks who have been in the market here recently, and they actually conducted this survey a little bit before the settlement came out, so it hasn't been influenced by the settlement and all those lawsuit legislative details. And they asked buyers, what do you care about the most when it comes to a buyer's agent? What are you looking for? What do you place value on when it comes to a buyer's agent? And I would tell you that if you ask that question of buyer's agents, they might have an assumptive negative thought that, oh, buyers just want someone to open the door for them. And I think that that's a mistake to believe that. In fact, I know it's a mistake to believe that because when you look at the research from 1000 Watt, it says something very, very different. What buyers believe to be most valuable about the services of buyer's agents is related to helping them navigate the due diligence period of the contract, helping them explore their options to make the best choice. It has everything to do with being a trusted advisor. And in fact, it was so much so that it was a 2-to-1 margin over buyer's agents helping you negotiate a better price, or buyer's agents helping you find unlisted properties that weren't able to be found online, for instance. That's how much value the buyer places in terms of a buyer's agent to give them good counsel. Why? Because they're making the investment of their life, and they need you to help them navigate that transaction, that experience, as effectively and intelligently as possible. And so marry that thought with another thought, the thought that video is the media of the day. When it comes to marketing channels, there's nothing quite like video. This is a know you, like you, trust you business, and there's no marketing medium on the planet quite like video better able to position you for the consideration of winning over that buyer's decision to want to work with an agent just like you. And what's more, given what I just talked about with Instagram a moment ago, that already they're showing 50% of all content we see in our feeds is AI suggested content, presumably with non-followers. That means that your ability to reach buyers, knowing that it's not about who follows you, it's about who's looking for content that you have. You're going to supply the demand, so to speak, in your content, bearing in mind that Instagram could be the ultimate delivery vehicle for your videos to buyers who are looking for an agent who can help them navigate due diligence, who can be that counsel, that advisor role. What kinds of videos would you make if you were supplying the demand of today's buyer? I have 4 videos for you to consider making. The first one we call Homebuyer Hacks. Check out this video by rockstar agent Shannon Manjan. She runs an amazing business down in Austin, Texas, and she is truly a knowledge broker. She understands and listens to the questions of buyers. She understands where they're struggling, where they're stuck, and she sent me this video, and I was like, this is a great video, and this is just one video of many videos, and we'll link it up in the description if you want to watch the video on Instagram, for instance, and listen to what she has to say. You can check it out there. But when she sent me the video, she left me a comment that I thought was a really impressive comment. She said, there's a lot of people out there who are, headlines and stuff like that say, this is a horrible time to buy a house, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they're just kind of dogging on the real estate space right now. And she said, but the fact is, I'm here for customers who, for whatever reason, want to or need to transact in this marketplace. I'm not here to tell you not to do it. I'm here to advise you on how it can be done in the best possible way based upon whatever the circumstances are. The market is the market is the market is the market. And so you have to consider a buyer who understands this may be a difficult time to transact with affordability and mortgages and rates and all that kind of stuff. But she's there for them in terms of saying, well, have you considered this? What about this? A lot of savvy buyers are trying this. Homebuyer hacks may be the first kind of video you should truly explore in terms of what would happen if the same kind of conversations you were having with buyers belly to belly in the field at showings. What if you just jotted down, oh, that was a great conversation. Ooh, that was a great conversation. What if you jotted those down from time to time and they became the source of your content and you started giving out pro tips and advice and hacks just like what Shannon Mangian does to help buyers determine what it takes to move forward. Ultimately, when it comes to buying or selling real estate, that's not a decision any agent can make on behalf of their customer. It's the customer's decision to be made, and the job of the agent is to help you do it as intelligently and successfully as possible, to help you in serving your best interest. And that's exactly what Shannon Mangian does with these amazing homebuyer hacks. That's our first video when it comes to positioning for buyers to consider working with you and to see your value proposition. Video number 2 comes courtesy of Roland Assange. She's in the East Bay area of California. And in the video you're watching, again, you can click the links in the description and go watch the whole video. He publishes these as Instagram Reels and on TikTok and does really well on both respective platforms. But effectively all he does is he reaches out to listing agents of newly listed properties. He gains their consent, of course, get permission, get the right consent, follow the rules, because he then goes to the property with a preview by himself and he films the video as if he's touring it for his client. Now think about this. You've been asked before by your own clients, I'm guessing, who couldn't be in town or they were relocating or something like that. And they said, hey, can you go film a video of the property for us so we can see the property without actually going on a showing physically? And you've done that and shared private links. Well, Roland does that for buyers he's never met, almost operating as if he's already your buyer's agent. And so he goes to, if you listen to the commentary, the way he talks, he is talking to the buyer. I like this. I watch out for this. We should check this out. It's almost like he's your buyer agent, simulating that experience and demonstrating his skill set to help you explore your options and make the best choice. Now, if you're listening to me on the podcast, you might want to hop over to YouTube to watch these videos, because if you're watching on YouTube right now, you can see Roland is holding the phone and you're getting his, his eye view, what he sees in front of him. And then you see his hand kind of moving in front of him like it's a video game character. And I love the way he does that because A, the way he's talking is just really consultative, giving a lot of good input, pointing out a lot of details that a buyer thinks, ooh, I wouldn't have noticed that. Oh, that's a great thing to think about. Oh, I didn't think about that. And it's not like he's dogging the property. He's giving an unbiased perspective of it, but he's doing an excellent job showcasing his skills. But one thing I really love is how he reaches his hand out to touch. He'll touch a lamp. He'll touch the wall. He'll touch the countertops. And if you think about human beings, us, we have different senses. This video allows you to see, to hear, but also it makes you want to touch. And so there is an implied sense of, ooh, I want to see this property. And so because of those elements, his DMs go nuts of prospective buyers saying, ooh, oh, can you let me know about this? What about this? They have all these questions because they want to see the property. And it oftentimes leads to buyers saying, hey, can you take us to go see this kind of a property? Because he so effectively showcased his skills as a buyer's agent in helping you explore your options. He's an advisor. He's a knowledge broker. Now for the third video, I'm coming back to Shannon Mangian again in Austin, Texas, because she is crushing it on her Instagram Reels in terms of reaching buyers. She is doing a remarkable job. In fact, Instagram is her #1 source of business because she creates videos for that buyer. She supplies the demand. The demand is, I want a buyer's agent who can help me explore my options, who can help me make the best possible decision. She understands the way the algorithm works is it shows people content based upon their interest. So she supplies the content that aligns with their interests, and Instagram becomes effectively her booking agent, distributing her content to the end target buyer who's looking for her. It's a matchmaker algorithm, so to speak, with videos like the How We Did It video. Now, we've talked about how we did it as a strategy for your listings. A lot of times you'll see a listing agent, for instance, say, just sold in 24 hours, and it makes it look easy. It makes it look like anybody could do it, and it's a disservice against your own marketing because it gives a seller a false sense of, I don't really need an agent to do this. And so you've heard Tom Ferry, you've heard me and others, and Jimmy Mackin talk about how you should do a How We Did It post or a How We Did It postcard versus a just sold, because ultimately it's sold because of how you did it. So we've talked about this idea from a seller standpoint. Well, what about from a buyer standpoint? Are you documenting how you did it? How you accomplished what you did with your buyer, through your buyer, together? The intelligence, the strategies, the roll up your sleeves and do the work, get it done attitude? Have you broken down what you've done as a buyer's agent? Or do buyers just have the sense of you show up, you walk into a house, and then you're just there, and it's what are you really doing anyways? But the truth is, you know it and I do, and any buyer who's worked with you knows it. There's so much that goes into a successful purchase from a buy side. So why not document? Why not chronicle the how we did it? The before and after, we had to cross this mountain and this bridge and this chasm to get to this end result, and you document it, not as a way of dissuading somebody to think that was so hard, I don't want to deal with that, but really to give hope, to show prospective buyers who honestly feel like I'm priced out of the marketplace. I don't know what to do with this. I feel like I have no options right now. What if you could show the options to prospective buyers who feel stuck because of what you're doing with your clients to get the job done? How we did it is definitely a video to add to your mix. And last, the fourth video comes courtesy of Ken Pozek, who runs an incredible real estate team in Orlando, Florida. Ken has been featured in this podcast many times before because Ken absolutely crushes it with YouTube marketing. He generates a ton of organic inbound business through super valuable videos that he's publishing consistently. That's an important word, consistently, on YouTube. And one of the videos that you will routinely see Ken publishing on his channel is what Ken would call an area comparison guide. That's the terminology that he gives to that bucket or that category of video on his YouTube channel. And because it's YouTube, you're going to notice this video is a landscape widescreen video. You're going to notice it's a longer video that's a long form platform on YouTube compared to vertical video platforms like Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels. There tends to be a shorter attention span when it comes to how long someone's willing to watch a video. That is changing, but that's another topic for another day. Regardless, YouTube is a long-form platform, and so what Ken does is makes incredibly high-value videos that say, hey, this neighborhood versus that neighborhood, this area versus that area, and he gets into the details, every I dotted, every T crossed. Videos like what you're watching right now if you're on YouTube of Ken, these are not videos where you wake up on a Monday and think, you know what, I'm going to film a video like this. These are videos that require incredible research and a lot of really surveying your customers to get questions. You'll notice if you go watch the video, again, we're gonna link everything up in the description for you. But again, if you watch this video from Ken, you'll notice how he keeps referencing all the questions. We keep getting questions about St. Cloud as a community. What about this? What about that? And so he's already been shaking the tree, so to speak, in terms of eliciting questions so that he can then answer those questions. And those questions become the inspiration for the next video. And so now he realizes, hey, we have a lot of curiosity within our audience around the St. Cloud community. So he makes the definitive area comparison guide to talk about what it is, what it isn't. And I got to tell you, when you're a buyer in the marketplace looking to make the best possible choice, looking to explore options, this area or that area, and you happen to notice Ken Pozek has the most documented, detailed analysis of every respective area. And it's not about the average price is this many days on market. It's not a boring market update sort of video. He's in the field. He's showing the kinds of homes you'll see. He's walking the streets. He's got Google Maps outlining where it is and where it isn't. He's going all in. Now, you might think, well, who has time to make a video like that? Well, consider the fact that this is YouTube, and YouTube is a search engine, not a social platform. And so the life expectancy of this video of Ken's is years. This video can rank and rank and rank and rank and keep serving to new prospective buyers again and again and again and again, so that he has really the grounds, the justification, it's warranted to make the investment to produce a video of this quality, because it's not like a post it today and it's done tomorrow kind of video. This video is evergreen, or at least semi-evergreen, to last for a year or 2 years and really get him maximum value. If you're leveraging YouTube, it means you're considering the power of, well, it might be more front work in the beginning. Like the video may have to be a certain level of quality. But if I can give the right video to the algorithm, it will keep ranking and keep ranking and keep ranking. And it becomes effectively a lead magnet that routes new prospective buyers, and also I should add sellers, because sellers are watching this one too. It's routing new customers straight to Ken every day. It's working for him while he sleeps. It's working for him while he leads team meetings. It's working for him while he's in the field working with clients. And the same could be working for you. What are you doing to leverage videos? Videos are the ultimate marketing medium of today. But when was the last time you really took the time to think about, what does a buyer need or want? What does a seller in my market need or want? And when did you really reconsider your video strategy last to supply the demand? Their demand is X, Y, and Z. They want to know A, B, C. What are you doing to supply the demand? Whether it's homebuyer hacks, whether it's listing lowdowns, whether it's how we did it videos, whether it's area comparison guides, or all the above. What's your strategy to leverage video to position yourself top of the list, the consideration list of buyers and sellers in your local marketplace? I want to know from you in the comments. What are you going to do? Of these 4 videos, which do you like the best? What are your questions? Where are you going to start? How can we help you get to the next level in leveraging video to get more business? I'm a coach. I can't help myself. It's what we do, and we want to help you, and we want to see you dominate. If you're not leveraging video, if you're not serious about your video strategy, you are missing out on the medium of the day. So get after it. That does it for today. Thanks for watching, and please drop a line in the comments before you go, or better yet, take a second and share this video with one of your peers who needs to see it. Until next week, this is This Week in Marketing.